Welcome everybody, welcome to my channel Pegasus, it's time to fly. First of all, Happy New Year. These have been pre-recorded towards the end of 2021, but I'm going to be publishing them just for the new year so that people can really have a close look at what we have coming in for all of us. So before I get to our 2022 and begin, I just wanted to say a couple of things. I think ultimately 2021 has been a year of highs and lows. I mean, speaking personally, it's been a year full of love, full of fun, forming new relationships. And it's been a year of endings and different transformation and that kind of thing. And I think there's been this real collective energy for all of us that coming on the back of 2020, we started January 2021 with we went into a lockdown and there was just this feeling of disconnection. I'm going to be probably mentioning some of that in the readings as we go forward. But I think that disconnection for me is probably a word that might describe how a lot of us have been feeling in this 2021 year. This year has been what we call from numerology a 5 year. Fives can be very challenging, and I have mentioned some of this on some of my posts. So fives can be this idea of climbing the mountain and having things fall in our pathway to make things that little bit more difficult, or to help us learn and grow, which ultimately is what any transformation is seeking for us to do. It has been a bit of a strange one in terms of this disconnection, because I think we started the year where lots of people were working from home, and of course we've now gone back into that towards the end of this year as we close. So there was this feeling of disconnection, and then coming out of it and this idea of unity, celebrations and love, and trying to get back to what we were considering as normal life for all of us, I suppose. And then quickly we fell into that sense of normality again, and now we're being sort of pulled back into this idea of distance. I just sort of wanted to mention that and mention the energy of that, and that, for some it has been a really difficult year. There have been some amazing things that have occurred this year, and sometimes it's good for us to remember that light with that shade as well. And so much hope for us all moving forward as we enter into this new year, which is actually a 6. So what does 6s mean for us then? Well, for me personally, 6 is coming out of a 5. It's this idea of hope and this sense of building something back up that maybe fell away. We're building this stronger, new foundation. And 6s are really prosperous years for love and relationships, any type of relationship. They seek to find calm after the storm of the 5 and present us with more harmonious, cooperative components, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So, I will see you in the readings. Thank you. Welcome, Cancer, to your 2022 readings. On my channel, Pegasus, it's time to fly. Thank you for listening to the readings. I hope you have had a really great Christmas and are now excited about your new year and everything that's going to be coming into being within that new year. It's been a tricky time. I think we were all waiting for some sort of lockdown to happen, and lots of people have also had this horrible COVID thing again during the Christmas period, so haven't been able to be with their families or have the Christmas they plan to have. So I'm really sorry for those of you that that's been the case. And I'm sort of sending you lots of amazing energy to lift you past that period and take us into this coming new year, and hopefully bring good news and some enlightenment really for you, I guess. Before I start, I just want to sort of make the note that not everything that will come out in these readings always resonates with every person within the astrology. You can always check your sun, moon and rising signs if you want a little bit more clarity. And you can do that really easily. There's lots of great astrology sites online that give you free charts, which might be really good if that's something you're interested in. And yeah, some people will listen to these readings and I don't know, sometimes I always say time is fluid and you're meant to hear the messages as and when you hear them, basically. Sometimes you might hear a sentence I'll say or a message or a card that I'll give you, and at the time it may not resonate with you, and then later on you might go back and think about it and say, oh gosh, you know, that was for me for sure. And yeah, I hope you do. If you really do like the readings, make sure to remember to like the videos and share if you really want to. It really helps with my channel, and I really appreciate that, and I appreciate all the support that I've had last year, so far. And yeah, and hope to build and grow more of the Pegasus family. So first of all, just to give you an explanation about how this reading is going to look today, I'm going to pull 12 tarot cards, one for each month of next year. I'm then going to do some clarification with my spirit angel cards. I've kind of mixed up 2 decks in this angel card set. So some are actions and some are just little guidance notes for you to take away, perhaps to embody the energy of during that month. It might resonate for you. And then to start off with, I'm going to read some channeled messages that Spirit have channeled a message for each and every one of the 12 signs. And they're all very different. And yeah, so I'm going to start the reading by reading Spirit's channeled messages for you. And then I'm going to, you might want to pause the video, but I'm going to use my Angel Answers deck. And we're going to start the reading by you asking a question regarding something that was in your energy or something that was around you for last year, for 2021, that you might like to get some clarity on before we start the 2022 reading. So it might just shed some light and connect with where you've been and where you're going. So, channeled messages first then. So Cancer. Looking quite good for you, I think, Cancer. They've said things will be peachy if you decide to take a risk this year. So what risks might be facing you? Well, we might see some of that in the reading, but you might already know what those risks are already going to be, because you might be aware of stuff that's already in the pipeline. But it's saying you're being guided towards lighter times. Perhaps the last year was disappointing or unfulfilled for you, Cancer. Take the chances you thought you never would be the person you always wanted to be. So take the chances that you thought you wouldn't, sorry. So there might be something in there that you were offered and you didn't think you could do, or something you didn't dare face last year, and perhaps that's going to be coming back around this year. Often things that we don't face do keep coming back until we do what's necessary. This is definitely going to be something, an energy for you, but it's going to be something that you wanted to do or something that was important, and they're saying that you should go for it. Their direct message is, it's time to fly. So it's time to fly for you this year, Cancer. I really hope that's the case for you. So let's crack on to your question. So take a few deep breaths, think about what it is that you wanted some clarity on, that was around you perhaps last year, and the angel answers will give you some clarity. Okay. Opportunity. So your answer is, whatever you've been asking about, there may have been an opportunity that perhaps you passed up or you decided wasn't for you at that time. Well, your message within that reading is that those opportunities, when they're really for you, they don't go past you. So don't stress, don't worry, don't think, oh, you know, that hasn't happened. I have missed that great thing that was coming up for me in my energy, because it's just not the case, Cancer. I'm afraid, no. You'll get those chances again. Those chances might be clearer this time. You might be clearer. Might be waiting for you to make certain decisions and get ready to be ready. Often we do. Okay, so January card, Queen of Cups in reverse. February, Eight of Swords in reverse. I have done quite a bit of pre-shuffling with these cards as well, just so that you're aware. And some people do like to see an extensive shuffle. It takes quite a lot of time, so I like to do a really thorough one before the readings start. Okay, so what can you tell us about March, please, Spirit? What can you tell us for March? Okay, wow, we have a lot of reverse cards. And that's not to say that's a negative by any means, Cancer. It could just mean that perhaps things are just not clear right now. Perhaps things have not fully become in alignment with you. And, oh, wow, I'm going to take that one too. April, Six of Wands in reverse. May, the Hermit in reverse. June, the Page of Swords. July, Queen of Swords in reverse. Okay, so June's your only upright card at the moment, Cancer. No matter, makes no difference. The messages are there to show themselves, and it's my job to interpret them. Okay, so we have the High Priestess in the upright for August. September, Three of Cups in reverse. October, Ten of Swords. What can you tell us for November? Okay. Okay, so we have the Five of Swords rather in reverse for November, and we have the Sun in the upright for December. Wow, that's a brilliant card to end next year on anyway. The Sun card is my favourite card of the entire deck. Card of Leo. It's a beautiful card and it expresses beautiful messages for you. Okay, so where to start then? Let's have a look at the bottom of your deck, which is the overall theme for the year, and that's Four of Cups. It's really interesting that your question card was opportunity, and your guidance from Spirit was all about those disappointments of stuff you didn't try and do last year, or you didn't decide to make any sort of choice on. And so your underlying theme for next year is this Four of Cups. And sometimes this Four of Cups is not seeing something that's being offered to you at this time. So this could be love. Perhaps there was love around you and you decided to stay away from it for whatever reason. Perhaps you were in a relationship and you thought there was somebody else that you had feelings for or liked you, or there was some sort of spark there, and it's like this energy of you've decided to ignore it and focus on those cups that you already have in your life that are in the upright position. Because this is a theme again for this year, it feels like I want to say to you, look very closely at the people around you or the situations around you, or look very closely at what you're being offered. This could be financial, this could be at work. you know, it could be something that comes about, or something that has potential, and perhaps you think that's not big enough for me, or I don't see myself doing that. And this is sort of saying, don't be so quick to turn those offers away. Don't be so quick to say no to things in 2022. Interesting. So your January energy is your Queen of Cups in reverse. Now, often Cancer, you are the Queen of Cups. This is definitely your energy. As a Cancerian, you are ruled by the moon, which is a very emotional influence. You sit in the 4th house, and this is all about your home and family and this sense of balance and identity. You're not in your complete energy in January because your Queen of Cups is in reverse. Are you taking this energy of this 4 of Cups and not facing some issues regarding love that are coming up for you? Has there been some disharmony within a partnership? Or perhaps you've come out of a relationship and you're still in that energy. Perhaps that was towards the end of 2021. Maybe you asked your question about that and your answer was opportunity. So perhaps your opportunity means there's something better for you, something else out there for you to offer your cup of love to, my Cancerians. Okay, let's pull you an angel card. It does feel love. It does feel like you're not in your power. So perhaps this is something that wasn't your choice. Perhaps somebody else made the decision. Okay, so you've got the angels here. It says of exercise. So have you eaten too much over Christmas, Cancer? But for me, really, the energy of this is about being the best we can be and being healthy. And, you know, this feels like health. This feels like looking after yourself. Perhaps you are needing to make some changes, and that will boost your self-esteem, put you in a much better place in order to move forward into the year. These are not bad energies, Cancer. These are not trying to depress you completely at the start of the year. They are just giving you some insight into actually what's really going on. Maybe you'll resonate with it completely, or maybe you are not being so honest with yourself and maybe you don't see it right now, but it will reveal itself in January. February, have the 8 of Swords in reverse. Now, I like this card in reverse for you because this is this idea that you thought you might be stuck, but actually you're not. You're not stuck in this energy. You've got the angel card of strength along with this, and this is just saying maybe it's time to forgive yourself and forgive somebody else regarding a situation. This energy of this 4 of Cups is your underlying energy for the whole year. I would just give a note to say be careful of not being stubborn about something. Be careful of not being closed off. People view strength in many different ways, but for me this angel card of strength is saying actually sometimes when we are able to open our hearts and be vulnerable or be very honest with ourselves, that is when we're in our most strength. This is a time of knowing your own power and believing in yourself enough to know that you can, whatever this hardship has been for you, you're able to overcome it. You have the necessary skills. Okay, March takes us into the 2 of Swords. And this is also in reverse, which is kind of good because this kind of suggests that there's no longer this decision making. Should I do this? Should I not do that? You know, we spoke about potential opportunities, and it feels like those opportunities last year meant that you were very stuck in your headspace. These swords for February and March are air signs. So these could be regarding people in the sign of Aquarius, Gemini or Libra. Libra's a very balanced energy, or it sits in its power when it's balanced. And when it's not, it's very scatty, very all over the place. But this Two of Swords in reverse is saying that perhaps you're now coming into this place where you understand yourself and the situation better. There's this crescent moon in the background of this card. And the moon often tells us that we're getting clarity on something. Sometimes the moon can mean there's secrets or hidden truths. In this instance, it feels like whatever was hidden is now, it's on the table, shall we say. It's something that you've become aware of, it's something that you know about. And this Two of Swords is, perhaps there's been communication and things have been made more evident to you. So you're more aware. So with more knowledge, you're able to make these decisions that perhaps you weren't sure about before because you didn't have all the information. What can we tell? With our angel cards, okay. So, yeah, go with the flow, Cancer. They're saying, go with the flow. It's been very stagnant lately and they don't want that for you, so stop that. Okay, so we have, in the month of June, Page of Swords, first upright card. So it feels like in June you're going to really feel like you're coming into your own energy. You're going to feel like you're really grounded, which is going to be a good thing. This Page of Swords it feels like some sort of communication. It feels like you need to be giving this message to be careful about what you say, be careful about detail. Maybe there's going to be something that you need to be aware of, that you need to understand the fine detail. Perhaps this is regarding a contract or something within your career. And the angel of record keeping is around you. So it's like this idea of being diligent, being very careful. Could be with accounts, a financial matter, could be a contract you're signing, could be a new position. Read the finer detail, know your options, and then move forward. This sword is like learning, a learning curve. So perhaps this new energy you're going into is you're going to be maybe faced with things that you haven't done before. Maybe that's what the introspection was about. Perhaps you, in the coming months, you decided to change direction completely and go into some new area within your life in the month of June. Again, this is the 6th month. Next year is going to be all about sixes. The 6th month, I think, is going to be quite important for everybody in 2022. It's this idea of foundation. This card can also, I'm not really getting this energy, but this card can also mean that somebody is watching somebody else very closely, and perhaps that's what this record keeping is. Perhaps somebody's watching everything you're doing, so it's saying, make sure you dot all the I's and cross the T's. Make sure you're being really careful with the detail in life. And yeah, you're taking control of things that need a real close eye on. That's what they're telling me. You need to keep a close eye on something that's going to be really important in the month of June. It's going to involve something to do with facts, information, something that is not known to you. So if this is a new contract, you might want to go over it really carefully and make sure that you are being very discerning about the details. Are you understanding everything that's going to be involved going forward in this month? Are you being clear? You know, these swords are about communication. They can be thoughts, they can be words. So now would be a really good time to be very clear about the things you say and how you say them. That sword can be a very sharp edge. That sharp edge could be a very sharp learning curve for you. Okay, moving into July, we have the Queen of Swords in reverse. In reverse, this is saying that this is more of a softer energy. Somebody is feeling a little bit more relaxed, perhaps the coming months have been stressful and things are getting to a much better place for you. This is clarified by the angel card of adventure. Adventure isn't about danger, it's about being open to change. This Queen of Swords in reverse, it feels like she is more open to the possibilities, to the idea that maybe she doesn't know everything, and that's not always a bad thing. Sometimes our thoughts can be based around old processes and beliefs that maybe we've been telling each other telling ourselves over and over again. And it's like this idea of in reverse, it's like she's going to drop her sword, drop her defences, be a little bit more light-hearted, and be in this energy of adventure and newness and excitement and joy. I think July is going to be a very carefree month for you. Okay, moving into August, the High Priestess. This is a major arcana, the High Priestess, and she's known for sitting in her wisdom, but she sits silently. So maybe August is a month for you to observe rather than speak. She sat with this huge crescent moon underneath her. You've got two of these moons now, so it makes me think that March and August are going to be significant months for you gaining the right type of knowledge. The sort of knowledge that will help you be more equipped for whatever these new opportunities are that you're going into. She's very balanced, and often, you know, people that you meet that sit in the most wisdom or have the most wisdom ever and are just the most poignant people that really move you in life are people that don't have so much to say, perhaps. You know, having the possibility of going into challenges with people or scenarios, sometimes to sit on the periphery and observe is a really important thing to do. In this card, she has what are depicted as the Towers of Solomon either side of her. And you see that one is black and one is white. And this is this idea of yin and yang and duality. It feels like duality was going to be important for you in the month of August. And that's this idea of understanding. We can only be happy if we understand what makes us sad. We can only feel joy when we feel pain. We need that duality. Our world is full of it. It's how we seek to find meaning in this world. And the High Priestess, she listens quietly and seeks meaning. She has vast amount of knowledge. In this very modern witch deck that I use, she's got a laptop, but in the original Rider-Waite, she has this book which contains what's said to be the Akashic Records. Akashic Records, for those of you that maybe never heard that term before, is said to be a sacred, like this huge library of all of our lives that we've ever lived and all of our truths. And it's said that when our lives come to an end, we are able to view that and understand where we've come from and where we're going to, and what was our purpose and what we were here to learn, what we agreed to come here to learn. So it feels like you'll be really sitting in a place of knowledge in August. You're going to really be cultivating information, learning new things. This could be education of some sort. You know, and this is going to require you to be still and just take everything in. Take as much of this in as you can. It's asking you to do this with enthusiasm Be enthusiastic about everything you have to do, and it will be less of a chore. This might be that there'll be things that you need to take care of also in this month of August that perhaps you've been putting off or you're not looking forward to doing. It's saying do those things with enthusiasm, Cancer. Because once they're done, it's going to be a good place to be sat. It's going to be a safe, calmer place when you've done all the work you need to do and put all the effort in that perhaps you've needed to with the right attitude. Okay, coming into September, we have the Three of Cups in reverse. So it feels like you are not feeling like you want to really celebrate in this month. In September, you're going to feel like perhaps it's time, still in this High Priestess energy, to be in this quieter stillness. You've got an angel card of listen, which is what I've just said the High Priestess is all about. So this energy is going to carry through in August. There's going to be, this card is saying there's plenty of time to go out and have fun and be crazy when the work is done, when the lessons are learnt, and when you are in the energy where you can enjoy and be more carefree. Right now, threes are about development. They're about building. The cups are usually emotional, so it might mean that you feel like other people are having more fun than you. Other people are going out and doing fun things that perhaps you think you'd like to do. But it's just saying, no, you need to hold your ground right now. You're going through an important time. These opportunities, whatever they were, they're coming to a point where you're really needing to grasp them. You're really needing to grasp them. And it's time to be a little bit more serious, more focused. Focus on what's important now. Not on the things that seem to entice you. Don't be enticed by anything in this month of September. Stand your ground and keep moving forward. Okay, so going into October, you have the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords is a card that some people do fear. In terms of, if we were to look at that, rather than fearing it, let's look at it and look at the positivity from it. It feels like you have perhaps been playing the victim, Cancer. It feels like this person's led on the floor and she's got all these knives in her back. So you feel like you've been betrayed, or perhaps people have been saying and doing things that have not been particularly in your favour. It feels like something has ended. This person is, I feel like this person's led on the floor with all the swords in the back saying, look at how many times I've been stabbed. Look at this, look at this, look at this. It feels like victim mode. And I'm not knocking you for that, Cancer, because I think we all sit in victim mode from time to time. I think it you know, we can't be helped. And it's just saying, okay, you're led on the ground, all those 10 knives are in there, but it's the end of whatever that cycle is. It's time to get over it, take the knives out of your back, get back up and carry on. This might be just your mindset, by the way. This might not be a physical betrayal. This could be words people have said that have really hurt you. It could be that you've come to the end of something and that's a really sad time for you. And this is why I'm saying I'm not knocking the fact that you might be in victim mode. It may be that, you know, lots of things have been said and have happened and it's just not a great place right now. The angels are saying take heed or take some shelter from these feelings with this idea that the angels of the career are with you. So this work, it felt like you were doing, building it from July, August, September. Take some solace from that. Because from career-wise, it feels like that's looking quite good for you. It feels like, you know, once you get over this Ten of Swords energy and you stand up and you realise things aren't actually as bad as I thought they were. They've been difficult and, you know, I've had to face some feelings that didn't sit nice with me. But it's saying, let's focus on our career. Let's focus on things that are working out for us at the moment. And let's be grateful Let's be grateful for those things in our life that are really good at the moment. And let's not just completely focus on, oh, let's look at the bad stuff that's going on in my life, but let's just ignore all this amazing other stuff that we could be grateful for. So it's just switching up our mindset, coming out of a negative mindset. Okay, going into November, you have the Five of Swords in reverse. And this is still this energy of this Ten of Swords just following through, but it's like it's going to be over. It's coming to an end. Those thoughts and that pain is not as severe. In fact, you're starting to feel better. You're starting to come out of this energy. You know that whatever this has been that you've been through has been a real challenge, but it's been the making of you. It's basically cut out people from your lives that you don't need anymore. And you're moving towards this better sun energy of December. This carefree, beautiful stage of growth. This feeling that the sun is starting to shine for you. And as I say that, I pull the angel card of joy. The angels of joy are with you in the month of November. So they're really wanting you to be more light-hearted and open to the potential of the lessons that you've learnt over the coming months. So much has happened. I think there's going to be an awful lot of change in 2022 for you, Cancer. I think you're going to feel like you've evolved in some way, and you're going to come into this place of more joy and more light. You're going to understand why those things were thrown in your path in order to move towards what's going to be better for you. The card of faith ends the year with the Sun card. So it's this idea that if you believe it, if you can see it, the miracles can become your reality. In the Sun card, this card of Leo, there's this idea that sun makes things grow. We all feel better when we have sunshine on our skin. It makes us feel happier, more light-hearted, and just in a more happier, nicer place. The angels and spirit want you to have faith. Those miracles that you wish to bring into reality are possible. I told you that things were going to be peachy if you took the opportunities that were placed for you. And what I think is really nice as you end this in December is you're going to have this like childlike, carefree attitude. So it feels like you're going to have fun. You're going to feel energies around you, guiding you. You're going to feel supported. I feel like you're going to have the universe on your side as you close the year out. So to end on that note, Cancer, I want to wish you an amazing year. Don't forget that sometimes the lessons can seem difficult, but how we decide to deal with these things in our life is always a choice. So you have a choice to say, is it an adventure or is it a challenge? And I think that is going to be the question that you're going to need to ask yourself throughout 2022. So good luck and have a beautiful year. Yeah.